Hello guys and welcome to Salmon Gaming. Today we're going to have a look at Katarina, one of my personal favorite mid laners. Now she is not a very popular mid laner, most likely because there are so many things that can go wrong for her in case of team fights and team setups and whatnots. But this game is pretty decent for me. The only two things that will actually break the ultimate of Katarina in this case is the skill shot from Ahri and the ultimate from Lee Sin. So if I just make sure to keep an eye out for that, Katarina will be a very strong champion in this setup pick. So as per usual, if you didn't know this is a guide for beginners and intermediates mostly. Now we do go here for the scouting. I see what's his face coming in there. I have my finger hovering over the flash button, just making sure that I'm ready to get away in case anything bad happens. Now Udyr has to flash out there, maybe wanting to avoid a charm or a root, but nonetheless he just get out. Teemo with that awesome camouflage, able to just sit there and keep scouting for us. Dude has balls of steel in my opinion. If Ahri decides to throw out a taunt, he will unstealth. So very ballsy move from Teemo there. But anyway, while they're sneaking around our jungles, let's have a look. As always, I do the boots 3 pots. Start from mid lane. This helps you avoid ganks by having that extra mobility to run away or get back to your turret. And the 3 pots give you that extra sustain. As for my masteries, I'm running 2190. Simply because you don't need utility for Katarina. You don't have any mana you need regen for. So you might as well get that extra tankiness in the lane. On my runes, I'm running 20 magic resist, 15 ability power and 8.5 magic pen. This gives me a very tanky early game, and that is very important on Katarina. Simply because her early game is very weak. She has no real pressure in the lane. Since she is a melee champion, she doesn't have that early game auto attack harass, which Ryze has, for example, or many other mid lane champions. So you want to have that, what should we call it, that safety, that early game safety and positioning advantage. I have no clue where I went with that. I started out saying that right, and then for some reason my brain started thinking, oh, it sounds like you're going somewhere with this, we have to add something else. But I had nothing else to say, so I just said something random. But anyway, it gives you a little bit of tankiness in the early game. As you can see there, Ryze actually putting out a decent amount of damage running a, as we can see on his page here, he's running like full mana runes with the Sapphire Crystal early, so he has a lot of damage. But because I'm running that very defensive early setup, I don't take that much damage from him, and I'm pretty much able to go in here, try to take some CS, actually missing that one, but just jumping away with that Shunpo, really a nifty spell to have, because you can jump 2 allies as well as friendlies, and even friendly minions and enemy minions. So it really gives you a lot of mobility, much like with Lee Sin, where you can just like jump around. That's one of the reasons why she is so fun to play. As you can see, they're throwing out the bouncing blades and then just Shunpoing to safety after that Q comes out from Ryze. Anyway, so let's go over the abilities while we're in this laning phase. Her passive, the reason why I like her so much is after gaining after a champion killer assist, Katarina gains 25 bonus gold and her cooldowns are reduced by 15 seconds. Now this, on top of the fact that her cooldowns are already really slow, means that in a team fight, if you go for the low targets and keep racking up them kills, you can just keep flying around and do massive amounts of damage. And I was thinking about another champion who can do the same thing, pick up a kill and then go for kills and kills, but I forgot who it is for some odd reason. Anyway, maybe you can remember what champion it is that also has the ultimate that does refresh upon killing someone, because right now I'm drawing a blank. Do apologize, but then again, this is about Katarina, so we don't really need to know about that other champion. Anyway, moving on to the queue, we see Ryze going in there to pick up the blue buff early. So Katarina throws a dagger that hits up to 3 enemies, dealing 95 plus 0 plus 8 magic damage. Each subsequent hit deals 10% less damage. Now this hits 4 enemies at level 3, 5 and then 6. Obviously it scales from 2 at level 1. Really offensive, effective farm tool, and also a pretty decent harass tool. Because it hits 4 enemies, there's a pretty decent chance it'll bounce to your opposing champion in the lane, thereby giving you that really safe and more or less free harass. As we can see there, hitting only the minions, and that thereby denying myself some CS. But then again, I'm not too worried about the early game CS on Katarina, because she is so weak in the early game, and I'm not really looking to put any real damage onto Ryze at this point in the game. Anyway, Lee Sin coming in there, just Shunpo to the back minions, and then just get to safety. Now, let's see, yeah. Moving on to the W, the Killer Instinct, passive. Katarina's abilities and melee attacks deal 8% additional damage each hit. Which is, it's alright, I mean, it's free extra damage. Who's gonna complain about that? Active, Katarina's next ability, basic ability, has a bonus effect. Bouncing Blades deals full damage to every target it hits and applies 50% healing reduction for 5 seconds. So that negates the 10% damage reduction per bounce from the original Q. So that is really nifty, both for farming and for team fights and for just normal harass in the lane. Shunpo. Katarina takes 50% reduced damage for what? Let me see here. We're going to have something action here, so we're just going to wait with that last one. Now I see that Lee Sin is coming up here behind Udi. I don't want to face against Ryze because Ryze can pretty much one-shot me at this point. I just want to stay safe. I go in there, use my ultimate. Sadly, Ryze is barely out of range, so I just flash away, stay in a safe position. I still want to go for the kill, but I want to stay safe as well. So I just Shunpo back to the minion line, and then try to make Udi back off. But Udi has pretty decent damage at this level already. So I just want to see if I can't help him out here. Sadly, he just does fall, but I get to pick up the kill. So, had I had better positioning at this point in time, we might have been able to pick up both kills while being safe. But I wasn't willing to risk it. I didn't honestly think that he would last that long and do that much damage. And Ryze could have one-shot me. Had I gotten close enough, he could just QW me, and I would be dead. So I decided to play it safe, and I do pick up a free kill for myself, and my jungler gets a kill and an assist. So that is really a good trade for us. And we're going to go back and buy right now, so we can go over the rest of the abilities while I do that. I'm just going to log on the camera. Anyway, the W effect for Shunpo. Katarina takes 15% reduced damage from enemy attacks for 3 seconds after performing her Shunpo, which is her E. Now let's see. Katarina moves to her target's location. If the target is an enemy, she deals 80 plus 55 magic damage to the target. Real nice. It allows for better positioning in team fights, allows for a lot of aggression, like jumping onto the AD carry, for example, or the support, whatever you want to do, you can just do it. And last but not least, the amazing ultimate that Katarina has, but also one she needs to channel. Anyway, Katarina goes into a state of extreme focus, throwing 10 daggers over 3 seconds at the closest 3 enemy champions. Each dagger deals 50 plus 3 plus 18 damage. So the scaling on this with both AD and AP is not that great, but overall this does, let's see, it does at least 3 hits to one of the 3 closest champions. So already at level 1, that is 7, 14, 21, 210 damage. It's not absolutely amazing, but if she's only close to one champion, of course she's gonna hit with every 10, all 10 of them. And that means she's going to do 700 damage. So that is really a powerful tool to have if you can stay close to your targets. And that is why Katarina is not so popular, because crowd control effects, silences and whatnot all interrupt her ultimate and makes her less deadly, so to speak. Anyway, just trying to pick up some farm here, using the Shunpo to get some of it, using the Q to get some more and get some free harass onto Ryze. Now I want to get a WQ onto him because he has a healing potion up. So there we go, getting it up, jumping to him with the Shunpo and having my and just blow off my Death Lotus, my ultimate, onto him. Sadly I do not pick up the kill, but he gets really low. He's going to be forced to base. If he doesn't base, I'm going to kill him. So at this point in time, I can pretty much free farm the lane. And with Katarina, you always want to free farm the lane. Hell, with any champion, you always want to free farm the lane. So I'm just sitting here, farming out the lane, keeping my eye on the other lanes, Sadly, I do not have my ultimate ready for Lux at this point, and I do see Lee Sin there. Now, Udyr wanted to go on that, but because I didn't have my ultimate, I don't want to fight both of them. I am quite a squishy champion, even though I do have my defensive talents. Masteries is what I meant to say. I'm still quite squishy. I can get picked off quite fast. But as I say to Udyr there, I didn't have my ultimate. I didn't really feel confident in going in on that. So, anyway, just getting some Q harass onto Ryze there, and pretty much just keeping an eye on my lanes. Where can I gank? Are any of the other lanes pushing our lanes? And sadly that is not the case right now, so I just choose to stay in the lane and kind of try to bully Ryze as much as possible. It looks like he's going for his blue at the moment though. So let's talk a little bit about the item builds you do for Katarina. Now, the item build that I like to do is starting straight out Gunblade. No matter what, goes Gunblade. Against this Ryze though, he has only 30 magic resist, so an early what's it called? Magic penetration boots is really nice as well. And we see Ryze flashing away. Now I do ping for people to come help me, but sadly they're doing nothing of the sort. So I just try to find him. Needless to say, I'm not going to find him. I'm just going to be running around cluelessly here for like an hour while my bot lane is just chilling. Whatever. Anyway, as I was saying, starting out with the Hextech Revolver, going into the Gunblade, because a lot of your damage in the lane, not so much in teamfight but also in teamfight, but mostly in the lane, will also come from auto attacks. As her scaling isn't the most amazing ever, you want to have that overall damage to be able to put out, as well as the fact that it gives you extra range. For example, when you Shinpo to a minion, if you're trying to catch a Ryze that stands right here, then you can Shinpo to this minion, hit him with the Gunblade, and that way close the distance to him more effectively. So that is how I like to build it. Anyway, we see Ryze here, kind of trying to trade with me, getting out with 7 HP. So lucky. At this point, Ryze can't really trade with me, especially because of his build. His build is absolutely crazy. He's just trying to stack as much damage as possible. And with Ryze, you just want to build tanky, especially against Katarina. He should have gone for something early defensive, like Banshee's Veil or some such. Would have been a lot better for him in this lane. He doesn't do that though, so I take advantage. You always want to take an advantage if you can find one. As I mentioned, we go for the Sorcerer's Shoes because now I have 28.9 plus whatever percent you get from the mastery. So I do true damage. All my abilities do full damage to him at this point in time. Whenever I hit him for what it says on the ability. I hit him for 200 plus 4 plus 26. Well, actually plus 26. No, I hit him for 200 plus 4 plus 26 on my Q. No damage mitigation whatsoever. So that is really strong for me in this lane at this moment. Anyway, he's getting a little bit too cocky there. I just jump in with the Shinpo and the QR combo. And as you can see, my cooldown's refresh, so if I had the frame of mind, I would have just E'd out to one of my friendly minions and taken no tower damage, or at least very minimal tower damage in this case. Anyway, I see them preparing for a gank up top there, and I think, yeah, I'm going to try to join in on that. Riven there with the hugest balls possible, nearly getting killed. But anyway, just going up there and just a quick E to him, just very nonchalant, just gonna go up and kill him. Udyr with a smiley face. Actually, Udyr really nice here, not going to rage about the fact that I took the kill and everything. Simply just realizing that if I get fed, it's good for the team. That is really nice. What you want to do when you're playing Katarina is you want to get fed because she snowballs really hard. She's much like the Blanc in that way, that she snowballs so hard. So you want to look for those early kills as much as possible. Anyway, getting some Q bounce damage onto Ryze here. He has picked up yet another Sapphire Crystal for some unknown reason. But whatever, I mean, it's his call. I don't really give a shit. Just gonna play it cool. Wait for him to push out the lane. And maybe try to fuck with his psyche a little bit, just by taunting his choice of builds. Anyway, getting some more Q harass up by hitting the back line here. Jumps back to the front line and then going in for the Shunpo ultimate. And as you can see, he's entirely unprepared for this at this point. I mean, not quite sure what this Ryze is doing, but whatever happens in the game, make sure you take advantage. Lee Sin hitting the Q onto me, and actually does more damage. I wanted him to hit me so I could kill him, but he did more damage than I had initially expected, because he does have that Wriggles and double Dorans. Running with 2 kills and 72 CS, so not doing too badly. Let's have a look at the CS in my lane. 69 to 97, so I'm way ahead. Really just dominating the lane, and I'm pretty much free to do whatever I please. I can kill Ryze whenever he comes into the lane until he gets that magic resist that he needs so badly. Now we see them down here, and I want to go in on this, but I don't want to go in until my guys are in position, because Lee Sin can interrupt my ultimate, and if I jump in there and get hit by the charm from Ahri, he's right there, or the ultimate from Lee Sin, I'm going to be absolutely fucked. But I see Udyr there, pulls the aggro, the charm has gone out, and Alistar comes in as well, so I choose to go in there. I get an assist onto Lee Sin, that means my Shunpo cooldown is refreshed. I E onto Ryze. I see he flashes over the wall, I want to go for this. So just quickly jump to him, Q him as well, and then keep running. Sadly, I do not see Ahri there, so I try to see if he went this way. Oh, silly me. Anyway, I do see that Yorick up top there is pushing a little bit offensively. So I choose, I'm just going to run straight up there. There's no chance of a counter gank right here. So I can just go in safely, get up the healing reduction from the WQ, and then just launch my ultimate onto him. And driven like a boss coming in there, we pick up the kill, and oh dang it, he's gonna die. That's a very honorable effort he made though. I mean, I've gotta give him that. That dude has balls. That dude has balls indeed. Anyway, running around with so much gold right now, I want to go back and get that gunblade and maybe some resistance. Since, I mean, they do have a triple AP setup with Ahri, Lux, Ryze, and even Lee Sin does magical damage on his E, and Yorick does the magical damage on his W. So I really want to get some resistance for me to be able to get into the middle of that team fight and do my damage. So anyway, I'm just gonna shove out the lane. Always shove out the lane before you base if you have the opportunity to. If you're too low health, of course, you just need to base. But in this case, I do have enough health to shove out my lane, so that's what I do. And I have a quick look on my map. There's nothing I can gank, so I'm just going to shove it a little bit more, and then I'm going to base. Anyway, yes. So, there are a lot of things you can build towards in the late game. You can build towards Rabadons, you can build towards Hourglass if you want to have that defense. When you get low, you can just pop that and you're going to be okay. So if you want that, you can build the Hourglass. You can build for the the Abyssal Scepter. You can build for the Ryleys, for the slow. You can do pretty much whatever you damn well please, as long as it's AP focused. You don't want to build Katarina as an AD champion. The only reason why you get the Hextech is because it helps you in lane, and it helps you close the distance to enemy champions. It helps you slow them down. Maybe it helps you pick up the kill in the end there. But after that, you want to build that AP. You want to stack the AP so that your ultimate does as much damage as humanly possible. Anyway, just having a look around here. What's his face? Teemo there, nearly getting caught out by a charm, but nicely dodging that. Wow, I'm sweating like a pig right now. It's getting to be summer. It's so nice. I've been waiting for this since winter started. I hate winter. I hate the cold. I'm a warm, fussy kind of guy. Actually, I'm not that fussy. I don't have any hair whatsoever on me. But whatever. Well, I do on my head, obviously. But anyway, I see some action going on down below. That Lux ultimate completely missing. I want to go in on this, but as soon as I see Ahri react, it looks like she knows where I am, so I back off. I don't want to get caught by the damage, because Ahri can interrupt me. She can charm me, and they can just burst me down. So I want to play it safe. I see Yorick coming up here. Just gonna drop my ward, Shunpo to it, because that is what I can do, and stay safe that way. Whoa, that's a lot of scrolling speed on my keyboard there. Anyway, because of my warding, I do have the opportunity to go push my lane very offensively. I don't have to worry about getting ganked, because I can see anyone coming except from there. But then again, I can look right into that. So I'm pretty safe. Now, one of the things that you hear me, if you watch my videos, you will hear me mention this in every single video, is that you need to ward. As you can see, I got one ward, 2 wards, 3 wards in my lane. And that is really crucial. You want to be able to see what happens. I mean, these wards I've been having have freed up a lot of kills so far. I mean, it gave us the vision up here when we were fighting down here. It let us see that they were down here. And that way it gives you a lot of... Well, it gives you the element of surprise. When the enemy comes in to gank your lane, and you know they're coming so you can counter gank them, that gives you the element of surprise, and they're very rarely prepared for that, so that means that you have the upper hand. As again you can see here, we have the ward there. Now they are thinking we're all stealthy, but I know they're there. Now I actually tried to E to them there, but sadly she was a millimeter out of range. Alistar, thinking we are ready to go, jumps in there and goes all crazy like. Sadly though, I didn't want to flash over the wall. Udyr was too far away, Riven was too far away, so it was a 3 versus 4. And Alistar, failing to realize this, goes in too soon. Anyway, I want to hang around. I do believe we can fight this. I mean, they were pretty low, some of them. And we had 2 tanky champions plus me as super burster. But sadly my buddies back out. And choose not to take the fight. Now I do believe we could have taken that fight and come out way ahead. But this is not the case. Anyway, I see Udyr going in for the kill here. Sadly, Lee Sin gets away rather easily. Whew! I'm so thirsty, I'm just gonna take a sip. Wow! Ah, it's hot! I wonder how warm it is today. What? Wait, is it snowing? No, it isn't snowing. Ah, that's my bad. And it looked for a second like it was snowing. Anyway. Yeah. The thing is, in this game, the laning phase kinda ended early, and right now both teams are just looking for things to do. Now again, it looks like they have a ward here. I don't want to go in until my team initiates on them. As soon as my team initiates, I can feel free to attack them. Now I do play it a bit defensively here and start to try to look for an entry. I try to see if my team is going to go in and try to force the dragon. I tell them to force the fight at the dragon. They go in before I even get near them. But luckily, because of that mobility, I am able to get back into this fight. Lee Sin using his ultimate. Now I know one of the interrupts from ultimate is already down. Now the second interrupt from ultimate is down. If you dodge out of that, it's locks. But now I know that if we choose to fight, I can get a full ultimate off on them. So I jump in there. I don't use my ultimate. Just want to save that if we get a grouped up situation. I tried to bounce that blade. It bounced really weird. It bounced between those two instead of all of them. But whatever. I target them. I ping them out, trying to get Udyr to initiate on this. But he's a bit afraid, sadly. So I just keep my distance. There he goes in. I jump in. I Shunpo, and I get a lot of damage off. Now I'm just sitting there tapping my E to try to get to Ahri. I do get to Ahri, and finally getting to Ryze as well for the triple kill. So that's really where the passive comes into play, because as soon as you get the kill, you can jump on to the next one. And when you get that one, you can jump on to the next one. So that's really how you snowball in the fight itself, by getting that first killing blow or assist. I'm pretty sure it gives assist. Yeah, it gives on the assist as well. So even if you get an assist, you can just keep moving, keep dealing damage. And with an ultimate cooldown of only 41 seconds, that means that if it's a pretty drawn out fight, after 2 kills you can already use it again. Or if it's a really fast fight, you can use it after the first 3 kills. So if your ultimate kills 3 people, you can just re-initiate the ultimate and keep on dealing that damage. And that is one of the reasons why I really love Katarina. She's so strong. But she does kind of rely on that early game and the fact that they don't have, for example, the Alistar or whatever setup that can stun her. For example, Leona is really good against her. Just drop that AoE stun on her. And you want to make sure whenever you play Katarina, wait for that CC to go off before you blow your ultimate. If you blow your ultimate prematurely and get interrupted, kind of means you're almost useless in that fight. I mean, you can still do some pretty decent damage, but nothing near your ultimate's damage, which it's at level 3 does 80 plus 20 plus 59 to everyone near you for X amount of hits, depending on how many people are actually near you. So anyway, again, I'm just looking for a fight. I just want to see whenever we hit a confrontation where I can get in and get my damage off. That is what you want to do with Katarina. You don't really want to try to take any big map things like Dragon and Baron. You don't want to actually aim to do that. You want to aim to get the fight. You can try to force a fight by doing Baron, but you want to try to fight with Katarina. Whenever you have Katarina, you have a really strong fight setup. I see Udyr getting chased here. I'm kind of hoping that he's going to fight this, because I feel so strong. I picked up my Nidus, I have the resistance, I have the blasting wand, I have lots of damage, lots of tankiness. I just want to fight people. Actually getting hit there by the Lee Sin. Udyr flashing. it looks semi-confused at this point. Alistar flashing back, and now I'm just waiting to see them. There, I see them. So I just jump in there. I use my Shunpo this time for the W, so that I take reduced damage when I jump into the middle of 4 people. I could have chosen to use it for the healing reduction, but seeing as they have no real healer, they have a heal, but they have no real healer in their team setup, so I don't really need that healing reduction. If they had, for example, Soraka, the healing reduction would be preferred. But since they didn't, I chose to get the extra bit of tankiness I get from the Shunpo, and then just go in there. I jump in, ultimate, and then I just back out again. At this point, we're too far ahead. The enemy team cannot do anything really unless they catch one of us out, and that is not the case. See Ahri getting a little bit cocky there, just going to kill her with the team. And yeah, game over really. I think it's gonna last for about a few more seconds, but all in all, this is game over. So I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it will help you improve or even start your Katarina play. As I said, this is for beginners and intermediate people. For those who already know how to play Katarina, this is not really going to give you that edge. It might give you an idea of what to do with her build or masteries or runes, but overall this is for beginners who is looking for the basics. And as with most of my guys, this is the basics to the champions. This is kind of like the basis for you to start learning that champion on. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed this game. This was a huge amount of fun for me. There's going to be one last engagement where I'll show you in this last engagement I'll show you what happens if you don't wait for the CC to come before you pop your ultimate. Now we see here, it's a straight up 3v3, pretty much. I mean, we're a little bit low, but it's a 3v3. I pop my ultimate and get kicked the instant start, so I do absolutely no damage. I don't manage to pick up any kills whatsoever. I just back out to my Udyr, and now I can do damage. I pop my ignite, I get the killing blow, and that means I have my abilities again. So I just flash, Shunpo, Q, Shunpo, Q. Do the damage, but that is game over. So remember, do not use your ultimate until you see the crowd controls go off, and remember, don't go too offensive early in the lane. And yeah, that's about it. Have fun playing Katarina, and remember to like the video. Just like it, give it a thumbs up, makes me happy. And any questions, just put them in the comments, and until next time, have a good day.